Hello, welcome to Reality Vomit Podcast, an extension of the Vomit series of podcasts. As always, I'm your host, Mac Taylor, and today we are here to discuss some Challenge All-Stars Episode 6, Free Fall. I had to double check on that title. It almost felt like that was last week's. We have a lot to talk about. Hopefully, like I said, these podcasts, I've been trying to kind of condense the lengths a little bit because it's just me talking. No one's hearing me talk for like an hour. But we have some, we moved on to the doubles now for elimination. So there's a little more to talk about in these episodes as far as stakes go. We're starting to dwindle down here. We're moving right along in Challenge All-Stars. I don't know how many episodes this is going to be still, but it's been very interesting so far just to see these all-star players duke it out. So without further ado, let's get right into it. So with the doubles, everyone's paranoid. The game got more real the second that, all captains have a chance to go in now. There's no like days off for people in this game. Jemmy's thrilled though, because Jemmy's probably in the best position to go really far and not touch an arena. Like no one's talking about Jemmy. No one. Mark's ready for competition because Mark's always ready for competition. Look at him. Aneesa and LT are also starting to bond here, starting to do a little cuddling. Which is interesting, because I thought most of this cast was married, but actually LT and I knew Aneesa was single, but LT is also single. They're getting it on a little bit. Aneesa also craving a W because she's never won a challenge of the, 15 she's been on. She's never won a challenge. And she, what a great moment for her story on reality television to finally win one. So Katie and Jonna joke about the men being scared now because the women can pull them into eliminations, and that's not fun. So, they're pretty scared about this kind of thing. And Katie's like, oh yeah, I'll take Derek. I'll take Mark. It's a funny thing. Jonna though is pretty scared about going into arenas because I don't think she's ever been to a final either. So it'd be a big moment for her to also go in. And Katie's also talking about acting weak to try to deflect the target, although she did throw herself in the last time. So, granted she got saved by Mark, but she did volunteer. So, not exactly laying low. So TJ at the challenge makes a Paramount Plus remark. He's like, this is Paramount. See what I did there? That was good shit, wasn't it? I was like, TJ, you've moved on to the dad jokes in your life now. So basically this one's called Escape the Room. So you have to you all have to flip these puzzle pieces over and solve the puzzle. And it goes from like light to dark and it has a letter in the middle. And so everything has to be in the correct position. The team with the most, they're in teams of 4. The team with the most puzzles solved will win. The team with the least amount of points will then, the team captains will go into the arena. And also the twist on this one is that starting from left to right, the trap doors start opening and you just fall. So into the water. So, you can be worried on your puzzle and all of a sudden, boom, you're gone. And like, that's it. So, you gotta move fast. So in the gold team, we have Easy and Ruthie as the captains, and they also have Jonna and LT. The copper team has Katie and Guess as the captains, and they have Aneesa and Derek. The silver team has Kellyanne and Darrell as captains, and then they have Alton and Gisela. And then the black team has Mark and Kendall as captains, and Nehemiah and Jenny. Jonna, very nervous to take the lead. So she's like, no, I don't want to be a captain. Kellyanne, however, confident because she's with Darrell. Darrell has a pretty good history with eliminations and victories. So, if you want to be paired with someone, Darrell's probably a good one to be paired with. Derek, not good at puzzles. We've seen from his track record, particularly, I believe it was the Challengers Champions final, where he just sucked at a puzzle. So, he's not super excited about this one. Mark has been trying to get Kendall out this whole game. And now literally his fate in the game rests on her shoulders in a way. So there's almost a bit of irony here, having Mark and Kendall be team captains. Darrell talks about having stanky legs because no one wants to fall through a damn trap door into the water. That's not fun to just fall suddenly. Also, while trying to do something, you might hit your arms or something trying to go down. Not fun. Johnny and Alton, literally, like, when they fall, it's like a sack of potatoes. Like, Alton's just working, and Giselle's like, hey, and he's like, whew, like, fucking falls through. And she's like, ah, she's like grabbing her vest, like, I don't know about it. I'm done. Because no one wants to fall randomly. And the puzzle, the details in the puzzle are hard because it's like this design and it goes from light to dark, but like it's very intricate in the way you have to place it. So this is not a very standard puzzle. Okay. So they really made this challenge quite difficult. Easy, however, is very confident in his abilities. LT runs out of time before he falls ultimately. And Darrell's like, you know what? I'm done. I finished it. Go ahead and drop me. Tired of sitting here waiting on this. Can someone just drop me? So the next round of teams go up. Katie wants to drop immediately. So she just stands there holding her vest, wait to drop because she's afraid to like hit her face. And TJ even says later, hey, just to let you know, I had it written down in the books that you was going to hit your face on that challenge. Because she always hurts herself for these things. So I can't. And it's like every single daily challenge that's been pertinent, it has been a water challenge. Like they really like to fuck with Katie when it comes to falling into water. Because that's like the one thing she doesn't want to do. The one kind of challenge she hates. They do all the time. Ruthie's laughing at her. Ruthie's like, I love seeing people scared. I'd love to be on a plane with Katie. I'm like, I think it's different. You're like encased, sitting down, strapped. It's different when you're suspended over water and there's nothing to hold you there. There's a little bit of a difference there. I don't think maybe she is afraid of planes, but I'm saying that's a little bit of a different animal. But it is funny that Ruthie does enjoy her fear. So Katie avoids injury when she falls. Falls just straight down. Good stuff. Kendall also, she leaves her puzzle sideways. Like it's clearly sideways and she's like, I'll get like, it should count, right? They didn't say it had to be upright. That's like the second time in one of these challenges, she's like not clearly understood the rules and just kind of like let it fly. That's like jumping over where she was supposed to fall through in the second challenge. Like Kendall really doesn't pay attention, I don't think, when they're saying what they need to do. She's like, I think this is okay. So they reveal Easy's the only one that solved the puzzle correctly, which means that Easy and Ruthie are going to be the only duo safe from elimination. That's good because Easy's someone that they like to throw in. And this also is good for Easy's resume because he's not exactly known for winning challenge competition. So, it's a good thing for him, get to up that confidence. And then Mark and Kendall are revealed to be the ones going in because Kendall had hers completely correct, but sideways. So if she'd have fixed it, they wouldn't be in dead last. She's like, oh, I guess there's no half credit. I'm like, no, they never said there would be, Kendall. And so Jemmy's laughing at the fact that Mark has to rely on Kendall, the person he's been trying to get out. So she, like I said, Jemmy's been a wonderful character. But if anyone, and Kendall's no slouch in competitions as far as eliminations go. Kendall's a great competitor. Mark is the quintessential challenge competitor. He's like the guy. So, there would be a tough team to beat. So while, yes, this is ironic that he's paired with Kendall, she's no slouch. They have a good chance of winning. So at the, debate place, Katie volunteers again because she didn't do anything. She just fell into the water. Because she's trying to play this one a little bit, honestly and loyally. And I'll talk about my theory on that later. But and Jemmy's pissed. She's like, I'm tired of people volunteering. This is the challenge. This is supposed to be drama. This ain't fucking hug and be moms. I'm like, yeah, Jemmy, like it's kind of like your version of the challenge, but this kind of stuff was like early challenge where people more so like cared about each other. So I think we're seeing two different worlds of challenge come together here, as far as like the old school and she's more of the newer school. I mean, her first challenge was what, season 23, Battle of the Seasons. So I mean, Jemmy's not exactly like, you know, an original. Darrell also, when he votes Katie, says, "Do your thing, but don't pick me," which I thought was really funny. And Derek, even like at the party, he has like a bandage with fake blood on. He's like, "I'm injured. Don't pick me. I'm hurt." And really, what it comes down to is Derek and Mark are like close, and Derek does not want to go into elimination against Mark because he wants them both to stay in. But all the guys throughout the night are gonna like, yes, like acts like he's injured. Nehemiah acts like, "Oh yeah, you're gonna lose if you pick me." None of the guys want to get picked, to the point where LT comes up to her and he's like, "Hey, if you need someone to go to war with you, I'll go to war with you. Like, I'll fucking fight for you. I have faith in you. You know, you give it your all. You give it your all. I'll give it my all. And, you know, we'll go do the damn thing." And she's like, "Well, I really appreciate it." He's like, "Yeah." He's like, "Listen, you know, we came here to compete. Let's do the fucking thing." And I'm like, "All right, LT, light the fire." Because Gisela was really scared Alton's going in. I don't really like where Gisela's going here. She's like just turning into like Alton's lover. And I'm like, "Gisela, get that fire. Become the television character." Like, I don't want to see you just drool over Alton for the rest of the season. I picked you because you gonna compete. Go compete. Thank you. And LT has the competitor spirit, because if he's gonna lose, he's gonna lose like giving it his all. He doesn't want to just like lay back and do nothing. He wants to go in there and fight for it, because his last elimination was, you know, was looking really bad against Alton, and he looked really good against Ace. But he, you know, if he's gonna go out again, he wants to go out fighting and look good and like know at the end of the day, like, I did my best, but it just wasn't enough. And I respect that. And like episode 1, I didn't know how I felt about LT, but I respect him. I don't know if we'd exactly be friends, but I respect him. So Kendall and Mark are like worried about each other. Like, Kendall worries that Mark would try to like sabotage her, but Mark ain't throwing competitions anymore. Like, that was Battle of the Sexes 2 to split money. This is, you know, probably one of the last times you'll see any of these people compete. So, you know, he's ready to go to war. So Katie, considering yes as well as LT, depending on what the competition, because Katie gets to go in and see, you know, all the materials and see based on what she sees, does she want yes, who's really good at puzzles and like climbing and things like that, or does she want LT, who's like a strength person? She sees like these ropes and she's like it's gonna be a tug of war. She's like, "Yes, I'm picking LT. I want LT." And LT's like, "Let's go pull this motherfucker off his rope." And it's like the best 2 out of 3. Girls pull the girls, guys pull the guys. First round, Katie and LT actually best Mark and Kendall. But it took a lot out of LT and Mark to do that. Especially LT though, because LT's the kind of guy like, yeah, this is the kind of competition. It's a big, heavy rope. You got to unspool it, then tug of war. It's not just a straight tug of war. So, you know, you got to like do a lot of arm work. And and if this thing goes to round 3, that's endurance. So it's strength and endurance. And I don't think LT has a lot of endurance, like as far as like going the haul, because that's a lot of physical. Like, I couldn't do this for 3 rounds. That's a lot, man. So LT and Katie win round 1. Mark and Kendall end up winning round 2. And by round 3, I mean both Katie, LT, and I think Mark to a degree are just gassed, because that is a lot of work. However, you know, in the 3rd round, it's close, but Katie drops the rope and then Mark does pull LT off. So Mark and Kendall win and stay in the game. LT and Katie have been eliminated, but they put up a hell of a fight. And even LT said, like, at the end of the day, I had nothing left. I gave all I had. And, you know, if I'm going to go out, I'm coming out swinging. And even LT and Katie like, "I'm so proud of you." And Katie's like, "I'm proud of you." And he's like, I would never, I'm glad you put me in. I proved something to myself. You know, I'm glad it was you I went in there with. And so it just felt good, a good wholesome moment. And my theory on Katie playing so nicely this season is I think that Katie expects to come, if they had to do like a season 2 or 3 of All Stars, I think Katie will be back. And I think this is like if I come back for another season, people are gonna be nice to me and respect me because of the way I played this game. So it's like I'm losing this game to win the next one. I have a good feeling about Katie if she comes back on the All Stars. And LT, I think, will come back at some point as well. So I don't think you've heard the last of LT or Katie on the challenge. And with that, the whole time, Derek is like Mark's hype man. He's like, yeah, pull that rope. Look at you, Mark. Look at you. And I'm like, I need Derek in my life just to hype up everything I do. Like, I twirl some spaghetti in a fork. He's like, yeah, twirl that spaghetti, man. Ain't nobody eating spaghetti like you. Like, I need it. I need it in my life. So with that being said, that ends this episode of the Challenge All-Stars. Sad to see Katie and LT go, but at this point, I love pretty much all the cast. I'm sad to see anybody go, but I'm really loving how it played out. These people came here to compete. They came here to battle, and that's exactly what they've been doing, and I cannot wait for episode 7. Go ahead and comment down below. What did you guys think of the episode? How did you feel about everything moving forward? Also, if you would like to hear more from me, the like button's down there, the subscribe button's down there. If not, thank you for listening. Stay safe, stay nerdy.